Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Right Reality Podcast. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Steven.
And I am Mixie. We are here to recap episode 3 of the, what is it? The Challenge
World Championships.
There it is. The Challenge World Championship, episode 3, Us Against the World. Woo. This episode is against the world because it was a waste of time and space and energy. And it was tough to get through for me. It was forced drama, a dragged out situation that I don't want to say I'm right all the time, but I was right about what happened. Exactly what we thought was going to happen, that they pretended like wasn't going to happen for a while. And again, they showed us exactly who was going home within the first 5 minutes. We found out that Nelson wanted the money to take his mom on a trip. I was like, fuck, Nelson's the first one gone. He has to really fuck it up. And he does. What is new?
Absolutely believable. What a great recap. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, that's about it.
What an absolute A-plus recap from our star, Mixie. Mixie, I'm also seeing the queen of no free ads.
Listen.
Is sporting in our YouTube video, which, by the way, y'all need to start watching or you ain't going to get them. I'm just saying. I spent a lot of time making those, and you ain't going to watch them. You ain't going to get them, okay? You watch the first 2, but you ain't watched the last 2. If you ain't going to watch them, you ain't going to get them. Just put them on the background at work. Just put it on the background at work.
I want you guys to buy every beer that is not this one, okay? Because it's not sponsored. I may or may not have gotten this for free, and it's not sponsored. So do not, and also don't cheer for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, yeah. No free ads for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but definitely go Tampa Bay Lightning.
Nope, we are cheering for every team besides that, and we are buying every beer besides this one.
That is incorrect. I'm definitely still cheering for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's go Lightning! Well, guys, if you've made it back to another episode, thank you very, very much. If this is your first time finding us, as always, what took you so damn long? Thanks for coming around, finding the number one, and getting ready to break down what would be described as things people put in their face. Filler.
This is the worst filler episode I think I've ever watched of the challenge. I mean, they weren't even hiding it.
I understand that they needed to get us back on track for having an elimination at the end and then moving on. I understand, but you did this to yourself, okay? You did this to yourself.
We had, 3 minutes of Ben explaining that dishes are dirty in their house? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, here's something that not a 5 to 7 season person understands. Was Jonna and KellyAnne like the best of friends? Was their friendship like very obvious and a big thing through the seasons? Because all of a sudden they're like best friends, and I was like, I have no recollection of this being a thing.
I think they became friendly during the course of All Stars because they were on.
Yeah, but I didn't see that. I don't remember seeing that at all, and that was like the basis of this episode.
But she did say a lot of times, like, oh, off screen, at home, in real life, we are friends. And there's definitely a big distinction between like people you're friendly with on the show and people you like talk about with your life and your issues with outside of the show, your non-work friends, but are also work friends and stuff like that. So I don't know if we like really knew about it. I feel like they worked together on the last season because KellyAnne was there to the end, and I think she tried to do that.
Okay.
But I don't know what Jonna was thinking. I just don't know. And as we started this episode,
wasn't Jonna, it was Nelson's hair. You can't blame Jonna.
Oh, that's true. My apologies. Also, big shout out to Nelson. We love you, buddy.
Yes.
If you have not seen the news, Nelson was in a very terrible car accident about a week ago or something like that, where he was actually pulled out of a burning car by an NFL player. Crazy. I saw the story originally, had no idea there was video of it. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy. And then for that person to be Nelly T, crazy. He's got like all sorts of pins and rods in his like lower legs now and stuff like that. Big gash down the side of his arm.
I'm sad because it probably means we're not going to see him on our TV screens for a while.
He's definitely not going to be on the new season, which feels like they're getting close to shooting at some point. It feels like by the people who are working out constantly on Instagram, it feels like we're getting pretty close, right? To them going somewhere again. But shout out Nelly T. It sucks that this had to be the episode you went home in, and then this episode, all this information came out. But we love you, Nelly. I hope you start feeling better, buddy. That's a absolutely crazy experience. To think we could have lost like Nelson from a car accident. It's just
I'm glad he's okay.
It like, and we wouldn't have lost him for something cool like boning too many girls or being in love with too many girls at one time, right? Something that we could like. Like, God, he went out the way he wanted to. Like, he won the challenge and then like fell off the cliff at the top with Mr. TJ, right? And be like, well, at least he lived the dream, you know.
At least he got there. Yeah,
he got where he wanted. He got to that mountain and then he just took a step back too far. And I just, but we love you, man. We're sending good thoughts your way, and hopefully, if this is any sort of indication, I think the next season Ani wins.
Really?
I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? More
motivated
than ever. Maybe he's like, I got a second chance. And like, I should have died in that car. The guy who pulled him said, if we didn't drive by there, he'd be dead. The car was on fire.
That's so crazy. It's so crazy.
If we did, and this guy was in an Uber and he made his Uber driver pull over. And be like, we got to pull this guy out of the car. Unbelievable.
Absolutely insane.
Going back to the beginning of the episode, I want to thank the good Lord for Wes, because Wes had to step in and tell John A. that voting in your friend first, when you don't know Jody from a ham sandwich, is a bit of a reach, and maybe you shouldn't do that.
I do think that Nelson and Huhui would have had more of an opportunity to potentially do better if it was Jody and Benji.
Potentially.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it was a hard watch from start to finish, to say the least.
And then I felt like John A. kind of reverted to old school John A.
Oh, yeah? Was this her MO?
And she was like a little like paranoid, I feel like, a long time ago, and Hotties, correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like old John A. just didn't really play the game the way we saw John A. play, her 2 season of All-Stars that she won, right? Like John A. there, and again, maybe this is just the editing that we saw, just didn't feel like she was willing. She just kind of laid back and was like, whatever, I'll take the game as it comes. But this just feels like it makes no sense. She started saying stuff like, I can't worry. I'm going to read it real quick. I can't worry what KellyAnne thinks in this game. She also said, like, if I put KellyAnne and she comes back, we aren't going to be friends or something, which is crazy. Like, I can't be worried about that. That's exactly what you should be worried about. This is how the game operates. What did you do in your last seasons?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. The fact that this was even a point of thought for her is like, that's something Sarah would do.
Yes. If you were my friend outside of the game and we came into the game together, and I am the first person that goes in, and the other person that you could have thrown in is not a better friend than me, I'm never talking to you again. Yeah. You cannot come back from that. And Charlie's like, well, that's not my problem. It's what? Why would you even create that as a problem to begin with?
She dug her own grave. I do think that Mr. Crapbag and her are one of the stronger teams, so I think she'll be okay. But the second she's not won daily, I think that KellyAnne's going to do everything she can to get her voted in or have her lose so that she's automatically in.
I feel like that's going to happen within the next 2 weeks.
I
think KellyAnne has enough people around, unfortunately, Sarah and some of the other people, I think they're going to go, especially what we saw at the end where like they were good and they said, we'll work together. And at the end, throw her in. I'm just like, hold on. Because, well, I didn't say anything. I don't know if I believe that, but you go, oh, you then decided to throw me in because you thought you heard me say something about wanting to work with you. Everybody assumed that if you did not vote for me, that we would be working together. What is the idea? Johnny was just caught in a trap there. And I don't know how that happened, but she's like, oh, KellyAnne's a loose cannon. Now you look like a loose cannon.
The thing that confused me was that it was kind of made pretty clear in the first 2 episodes that the game plan was to get rid of Argentina.
Yeah.
And they were handed an Argentina versus Argentina elimination, and then she didn't do it. Like, the only thing I can think of is that she was just fucking sick of KellyAnne being annoying as fuck, which, I mean, we have to sit here and acknowledge that KellyAnne could quite possibly be one of the most annoying people on television.
She's up there. She's not at Sarah levels, but yes.
Sarah just sucks. She's annoying in a bunch of other things. KellyAnne is just fucking annoying. I that's the only thing I could think of is she's like, I don't even want to deal with this batshit crazy woman. But that's still not like, it doesn't make any sense that she would take the first week. Exactly what you're saying. The first week. Against, let's be honest, Nelson and Huhui. You think that Nelson and Huhui are going to beat the guy that won the United Kingdom stuff and KellyAnne. Yeah. You think that they're going to if it's a puzzle, KellyAnne and Tristan. If it's strength, KellyAnne and Tristan. If it's smarts, KellyAnne and Tristan. Every single time. I can't think of a single elimination.
Heart.
Okay. If it was the Grinch elimination where they had to measure their hearts, maybe.
It's just I don't get it. You were the first pick like of the thing, so maybe this is a diversion to try to be like that. Maybe people were like, "Hey, I want to work with you, but you're tied to KellyAnne. KellyAnne's crazy.
Yeah,
you need to lose that." Maybe that's what it was. Maybe there was a lot of chatter behind by like Casey and stuff like that, where people were like, she's crazy. So maybe if she's gone, more people would be open to you being part of their team. But again, what teams are we doing? This is the other thing Danny lost his mind about later.
Yes, which that's definitely a build up to something. I feel
obviously. But what did he say? I have it down here. Danny said he was paranoid that he doesn't come first with Tori.
Mm-hmm. How long have they known each other?
6 minutes.
4 days? 3-4 days?
But also, I would like to know, well, that come first where? You're her partner. So if you don't come first, you're attached to her. So anything she does relates to you. So what does that mean that you don't come first? Like when she gives out butt massages, is that what you're upset about? That you won't get the first butt massage? That Jordan got the first butt massage and not you? You're her partner. How does that? It's not that what she does. It makes no sense.
Can we also, I just want to touch on this because you talked about Greaseback Bum Babe. They showed John A. and Greaseback Bum Babe and Tori sitting there basically deciding that she was going to vote in KellyAnne in a lot of words. Tori said something in the middle of this episode that I don't know if you caught.
I don't think I did.
It really solidified to me kind of what I've been annoyed with, what we've discussed that we've been annoyed with, and also what I talked about with Devin and Tori, where I feel like them sharing the money was a long-term play. She said, and I quote, "I mean the legends. We play seasons with each other. We have relationships that expand multiple seasons. So for us to fuck one another over in this game is not good unless it's super calculated because you're fucking up a relationship that could mess you up in the future." They aren't playing this game for this game. They're playing this game for the franchise. And I feel like them doing this has, and Hotties, tell me if I'm wrong, but them doing this has taken the fun out of this show for me. they're all together. They're all going to go on vacation on their shoot day breaks. Like, they're going to go do all this shit together. They're going to work together the whole time. It's not fun to sit and watch show after show where the same people keep going till the end because they're all buddy and they all want to make sure they're all good and they all get safe, and then they go to the next season and they do it again, and they go to the next season and they do it again.
Well, we know why this is, and it's because they get paid to show up and they get paid for the longer they're there. So if they just got rid of that, that would be one thing. The other thing is, you're absolutely right. As I've said for what feels like 6 years at this point, we need a new fresh meat season. And maybe this world championship idea on the face of it in all these countries, maybe this is what you were trying to do, is have like a fresh meat season on the flagship that's not a fresh meat season. But it worked great before. It's not that it didn't work great before. Just do it again. Do it again. Do it again and then bring some people back. I will say, like, if I look at this cast of legends together, there's really what I feel is only like at most three people like that are really kind of tight-ish, and then maybe a fourth on the very outside. There's not like this season where it's like, oh, all these people are best of friends and there's like 6 of them together. No chance they're going to do anything to each other unless one of them ends up in the bottom and then Jay and Michelle are at the front. And the problem is they keep throwing in rookies every year, and then they don't give rookies chances to come back because they got pushed out early. So if there was some sort of other system, I don't know, like a fresh meat season where, you know, you have 2 people picking teams at the beginning, we can do that. But I just, something's got to change. You're right. It just doesn't really work.
It doesn't.
I would like to ask you, how do you feel about Emily going on the Challenge Australia with a boyfriend, leaving with a new boyfriend who was her partner on the season, and now they are together? Tell you what, didn't see that coming for her. Didn't see that coming from her at all. I'm here for it. What a power move. Okay. That's what the people in the business call a poly, for those of you who know what that means. That's a poly move. I come in the season with a girlfriend and I leave dating Cara Maria, and we pretend other shit went down.
I will say I liked Emily, past tense. And then I noticed that she was glued to the hip to a certain someone that couldn't suck more balls if she tried. And I
saw in the first episode, I was like, man, I like you. You're an Olympian. I like all Olympians, but you're hanging out with Sarah. And then Sarah fucked you over by putting your country person in. And then you're still hanging out with her. What are you doing?
Are lounging on a couch next to her with your ass in the air, getting this week.
No way!
Of the week.
Did I want to give it to Tori and Jordan for their butt-on-butt massage? Yes. Did I see butt? No. Disqualified.
That was just so succinct. It was so succinct.
Am I upset that I'm giving it to Emily? Yes, because I'm starting to see that her and Sarah are buddy-buddy. I don't like that play. I didn't watch it, so maybe she did do the right thing and call this person before something happened. I have a sneaking suspicion that didn't happen.
No way.
Hotties, let me know if that's what happened or it didn't happen. Don't think that's what happened. I am starting to strongly dislike her for her association with the butt muncher. I just can't like people that are associated with Sarah. I just can't do it.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost a Tori move too, except Tori boyfriend came on the season and then she left basically being in love with Jordan. Like, he was on the season. Emily's boyfriend was not on the season.
How did so you thought it was a power move?
I was just like I didn't see that coming from her. Like, what a bold move to just go, oh, like you leave the show. You were with a boyfriend. I don't know how long they were together. You leave, you go home, and you're like, listen. So had a good time at the show.
Mm-hmm.
I got partnered with this guy named Bazooka Joe. I don't know. Turns out I want to fuck Bazooka Joe more than I want to fuck you. So we's dones and see you later.
Crazy.
Like that is a big time move. I don't see a lot of women doing that, Mixie.
Yeah.
I just don't see them doing that. I see them going back and continuing to like, you know, try to work it out with the boyfriend. As you've always said, just break up. And meanwhile, she's like, oh, I wonder what Bazooka Joe's doing. Let me look on his Instagram story. And then she'll like heart emoji one of his things. And then there'll be a big fight between Emily and original boyfriend. And she's like, you know what? I should have left you when I came back from the show and gone to be with Bazooka Joe. We talked about it while we were there. You talked about, right? Like this whole thing. But she was just like, nah, I'm an Olympian, mate. I got a couple gold medals, mate. Done. Dating this other guy now.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it really, I'm starting to see why she's pairing up with the worst person that I've ever seen on television. So things are adding up, you know?
Yeah,
you see people's true colors quickly. Also, I don't like KellyAnne because she's buddying up with the sucking soul individual that is Sarah.
I feel like KellyAnne did this because she felt like she did not have another choice.
Well, yeah.
I think KellyAnne feels that she is, between her and Jody, maybe the furthest outsiders from that group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, well, I feel like I need to build it. That's what happens all the time is these people build these alliances and they get in, they see the format of the show. And then they're like, well, I can't now after just making an alliance with you on the first night of being here. Now I see that I'm partnered with other people, be like, yeah, our relationship's not going to work now. So I'd get voted out right away. I think that's what happens sometimes. They're just like, I'll keep this going until I don't need to keep it going. One quick thing I want to hit. I would like a hoo-hooey. Did I say it right?
You did.
Holy shit, I blacked out. What happened? I would like to see a hoo-hooey and Nelson travel show. Obviously, this note is before I saw what happened to Nelly. But I would still like to see that because I feel like that could be very entertaining. The two of them traveling around to exotic ports of call and just having a laugh.
They were a bright light in this episode. Again, as soon as he said what he wanted to do with the money, I was like, fuck, really? The first episode, we're going to lose Nelly T?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, they're so cute as like a little team. It would have been really fun to see what they would do, especially if they ever got into power. I think that shit would have been hilarious.
You're right. Just a big bright light in this episode. The other bright lights that I saw in this episode was Kiki's giant bombs on her chest getting out of the pool in slow motion. Holy fucking shit.
She got front butt of the week for sure.
Wow. And it is this time where I would like to say a very special thanks to the editor of this episode. Hello, editor of this episode. How are you? Steven here from the number one. Obviously, your favorite podcast because you listen and take all this information. Again, I would like to just issue you, sir or madam, because we don't gender people here. Or they, them. If you're a they, them, I don't care. You know, you live your life.
Move on. You're only digging yourself a hole. Keep going.
I would like to thank you for that clip. I'd like to thank you a lot because that was the only thing that made me go, I'm going to give it another 5 minutes before I turn it off at this point and come back to this episode later.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing. And I got it. And I appreciate that. So thank you very, very much for that. Thank you very, very much. And if you were the same editor that gave us this Ben fake Cribs thing with like old school Cribs music, which was great. Also, thank you for that. Thank you for that. But in classic Ben style, as everybody from the Challenge USA does, they just self-sabotage themselves. Ben going, hey, you know what? This place is crazy. There's dishes everywhere. You know, like every challenge house ever, because I'm sure they have a cleaning crew that comes in and cleans the house while they're away. Yeah. So, Mixie, why would you clean shit? That is my first point.
I mean, I will say hot of him to have cleaned. Hot.
Sure.
Smash.
But I also think he's a little OCD.
Well, for sure. I think that one of the funniest things to me was when he sat down with KellyAnne and KellyAnne was full blown spiraling. And KellyAnne says that if I get voted in and I come back, I have full grounds to be psycho. The nervous laugh that came out of Ben, he was just like, ha, yeah. And I was just like, this man is terrified.
But isn't this also coming from the same man who allegedly made a lot of cast members on his season feel a little unsafe?
Hey, I mean,
little unsafe, right? Maybe.
You know, maybe they're two peas in a pod, those two. Maybe they'll make an alliance together.
That would be nice. The crazy part of the Cribs episode was this man saying, you know what's a good idea when there are no clean plates or clean cups or clean bowls? I'm going to hide them. I'm going to have a hiding spot for them. So I go, oh, cool. Under your bed, maybe outside by the pool, maybe on the roof. No. In the closest cabinet to the fucking sink. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to hide them there where there's nothing else in there. And that's where that would be the first place I would look.
And I'm going to show the camera and production where I'm putting it.
Because there's a producer being like, excuse me, Johnny Bananas, can you just go in that first cabinet by the sink? If you were to look for a plate, if you were to look for a clean dish, where you normally go for that? The closest cabinet to the sink. Yes, that one. Just go in there and just remove a cup and put it under your bed, or actually put it under somebody else's bed and just see what happens. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day. What a stupid idea.
If anyone's going to argue that this episode isn't a filler, that minute and a half right there should tell you. I mean, awful. The other thing that I wanted to touch on before elimination is this whole Nelson with the hair tell situation.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I guess I just don't understand why he thought that once he saw that elimination, he thought he was gonna know. I just feel like Benji and Jody were the clear pick. I don't understand why he thought he could beat Tristan. I don't understand.
I think he thought he would that Jody is taller, so she would have a longer reach, because reach was obviously very important in that.
But do you think he saw that? You think he saw that elimination and understood what that elimination was?
You're right. My apologies.
I mean,
I'm sorry. You're absolutely correct. I stand corrected. I apologize, and I will never do that again.
Learn and grow. I also didn't understand. John A was like, oh, Nelson's going to give me this hair towel. I can blame it on Nelson. And then when KellyAnne calls her out at the end, she goes, well, you told people about our conversation. You just said we were going to blame Nelson. Nelson's not even there to defend himself if you were making it up, which you're not. And
I didn't even think of that.
Don't fucking use it.
God damn. I didn't even think of that. I was so angry at John A at the end for just clearly lying through her teeth. Not that she cares what KellyAnne thinks of her, right? When she comes back. If she comes back, I can't worry about that. But you just worried about, you had the excuse. That's when you know people are drowning. When they go, oh, I have a perfectly good excuse, and they drown and they don't throw that excuse up because they're just like, fuck, I'm caught. Fuck, I'm caught. Oh my God.
Swing and a miss.
You know who had a giant swing and miss? King of Transitions. Theo and Kaz didn't talk for 2 years after breaking up.
I have Kaz tea. I've been waiting.
Spill.
Kaz was arrested for having cocaine on her.
When?
Recently.
Kaz?
I believe in Dubai.
Oh, I'm surprised she'll ever get out of that.
I don't know how she's here on this show with possession.
There's a video?
Yeah.
There's a video of her snorting it.
Yeah.
Kaz. Oh, Kaz. Oh, Kaz.
I wanted to tell you, I found this out yesterday and I've been sitting on it. She had that booger sugar and in Dubai, and I don't understand how she got out of it to get on this show. Sorry for the side tangent. Had to tell you.
This was filmed, but this update was in 2023, so this was recent.
That's what I'm saying. How is she there?
How is she where?
At the fucking world championship. Or do you think it was after?
This was filmed. This report is from a month ago, Mixie. When do you think this happened?
Ooh, do you think she won and got a bunch of money and just spent it all on cocaine and went to Dubai?
Listen, it's not what you would have done if you won.
No.
It's what Kaz would have done, maybe, if she won.
Can you believe that, though? Last person I would assume to have that.
You know what? That really deboners me of her.
I thought it would. I'm sorry.
That's really sad.
I know.
Oh, man.
We'll see if she makes a reunion then.
She fully cooperated with officials and is free to continue her journey. Under recently changed drug laws in Dubai, first-time offenders face a minimum of 3 months in prison and a fine of about £5,000.
Crazy, right?
Experts say expats caught using drugs are usually deported back to their home countries after their jail. Wow. She was expected to be released this morning. Oh, my God. In the clip, said to have been filmed in Dubai in 2020 as the UK was in lockdown. So okay, I'm a little bit better. Maybe she's learned her lesson from 2020 where we're all a little crazy, right? We were all a little crazy in 2020. I didn't decide to leave my country that was in lockdown, go to Dubai, and then snort coke, though. I did not do that.
You didn't.
I didn't do that.
And for all of the hotties that didn't do that, congratulations.
I know some of you might have been thinking that. You might have been thinking, is Steven and Mixie dating? No. Did Steven leave his country during the 2020 lockdown and go to Dubai and do coke with Kaz? The answer to that one is also a no.
Would you have, though, if you had the opportunity?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, would I have done the coke with Kaz?
If it was off her titties.
Oh, I didn't want you to ask me that follow-up.
Mama Frank, turn this episode off.
I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have. I would have been like, let me just see what it would look like first, and then I'll decide, right? Like, where are you going to put it? And I would need to see it, right?
Big brain.
Yeah. I've learned from you. I'd be like, what is it? Oh, it's right down there. And then I'd be like, no, never mind. I don't want to do that. And then I already saw what I want to say. Now, if she would have said, do this little, I know what you're going with. It's not that one.
Ooh.
No, not off a certain other area. No.
Oh.
If she would have said, yo, you have this coke with me, maybe we can have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Stairway to heaven.
I might have considered that. As a man who's never done a drug in his life. But then I would have gone, if you're asking me that, you're close enough that I maybe can still convince you to have sex with me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Oh, Kaz. And look, here's the thing. She looks hot. She looks hot as shit doing coke too. She's in like a full dress with heels on.
Of course she does.
Like when I think of people doing coke, I think of people like hanging out in like a hoodie at like a party or something like that. No, not you. No, that you happen to be wearing a hoodie is definitely not what I was thinking about.
I smoke weed, Steven.
I'm aware. No, you don't do that. And you also don't smoke cigarettes or vape.
No, never. Would never.
No, you don't need any family members or potential future family members hearing any of those things about your life.
Absolutely would never have any of those. No. Oh,
what was that? Okay.
You asked me a question about Kaz. Sorry, what was that?
Can you believe that Theo and Kaz did not talk for 2 years after breaking up? And then this is like maybe their first time.
Was it because she was in jail?
Ooh.
They both seem very stubborn, so it tracks for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not friends. Well, I guess like my exes from high school, I would still consider friendly, but I'm not friends with my exes. Like that we're exes for a reason. I don't wish ill will to them, but I don't talk to them.
That's a little wild to me that they didn't like talk at all for 2 years, and now this is when they're starting to talk, and they're kind of like okay-ish.
They definitely had a conversation off camera.
Yeah, I thought Theo was very funny in this conversation too.
I'm upset that I like Theo because of his partner. I don't want to like him.
You can hope for good things for Theo, that at some point maybe his partner fucks up and she has to be sent home or medically separated.
I would love for her to be medically separated. Honestly, for my mental state, I think she should be separated.
You would like her to be medically separated by somebody punching her in the face, right?
More than anything. But that person's going to get kicked out and she'll probably be like, I'm so tough, I can stay. I've done one season of this and it was the easiest season of the challenge that's ever existed. I know everything.
I won the Challenge USA, and I had people who were on big shows.
She didn't fucking win the Challenge USA.
I was definitely not squatting under a bush hiding from the rain because I couldn't figure out one puzzle when people were like, hey, you completed that. Just go up the mountain, because if we don't have somebody that wins, it completely fucks us for this world championship thing. Even though it really doesn't, because we're going to send an Argentina team there without their winner, without the person who came in second or the person that came in third. So it doesn't fucking matter.
Sorry, more conspiracy. Did you see that there's 2 Argentina people that are listed as winners on that wall, that black and white wall where their photos are? It says their name and what they... Yep.
I will investigate that. And get back to you with my thoughts.
What do they think? We didn't watch the thing that they posted that shows that they aren't... The internet doesn't exist.
The internet doesn't exist. Mixie, how do you feel about the Tori and Jordan butt massage? Do you feel this is another crazy thing in their relationship? Do you think this could be an effective massage technique? Your thoughts on both, because they're equally important.
Steven, and I am so serious. I can't stress this enough. Okay? I don't fucking care what the fuck these two do. I swear to God, if this turns into the same thing that happened with Ride or Dies, where there's multiple episodes of the will they, won't they, do you love me, are you with Nerys, what the fuck's happening, what about Naya, oh my God, I fucked Fessy, holy shit, I will fucking lose it. If I have to deal with Sarah's fucking dumbass and then these two sleeping next to each other and doing butt massages and then Jordan goes and sucks some other guy's dick or whatever the fuck's gonna happen, I'm going to freak the fuck out. I don't care. I'm so uninvested in these two. They're clearly not going to work. Stop fucking doing this shit. Be friends. Fine. Do your thing. I don't want to fucking see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sure it was a big deal that they got together and they got engaged on the show and the people fucking care. Great, cool. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I think if we did not have as much as we had last season of them, I'd be a little bit like, oh, this is interesting. But to see like how angry she was at him for a long stretch of that show and how like they would just go back and forth, for them to now be like, oh, we're like cool again. Obviously, we didn't see that stuff happen, but that's just also, why was that in there? It just kind of didn't make sense. It's the only thing that has to be setting up is Kiki's husband just being upset about Jordan coming first. And maybe that'll make Jordan and Kiki's husband have a little argument. I would love to see that. That would be great. I would love all of that.
My money's on Jordan every time.
Yeah, I'd love that. I wanted to have a conversation like that. I'd like to have less conversations like Jonna and KellyAnne, who like have a sit down in the morning, and Jonna's like, I slept on it. A good night's sleep fixes everything. All cool. No, we're good. Everything's fine. Like, I'm really sorry about that. I just got in my head, you know. I really think we can work together. I know you're my friend. Like, you're my actual friend. You're not just like somebody who says they're a friend when they want $500,000, because everybody will say that. So I'm really sorry about that. Are we good? Yeah, let's hug it out. Also, this is now the point where I have to talk to the editor again. Hello, editor. I just gave you lots of props. I wanted to thank you for the giant fake boobies that you put on my TV screen. And then you betray me. You just stab me in the back like I'm Julius fucking Caesar. And in the middle of that conversation, for no reason whatsoever, you show somebody who is not connected to that storyline at all. You show me Sarah twice. You showed me Sarah twice during that. And she's not even there.
Is she like blackmailing these people? Like, why am I even seeing her? This should have been a Sarah-free episode. And it wasn't.
Why was she there? Why did you have to cut her in? She was not even... Why? We were cool. I just gave you tons of props. I appreciated you and your work because I know how hard it is. But then you betrayed me.
Yep.
You stabbed me in the back and you were like, I can lead Greece better. Ah! And then we were not cool anymore because you killed me. And I don't like that. I didn't like that. Mixie, I'm so glad you're on this episode with me. I know you're not here all the time, but I'm very glad you're on this very specific episode because on a scale from 1 to 10, how surprised were you that our girl, now I'm going to get her name wrong again, Huhui,
You were close.
is somebody that likes to manifest things. On a scale from 1 to 10, how surprising was that information to you?
Can I go into the negatives?
You can select 0. Even though I said 1 to 10, you can select 0.
I mean, it's this girl oozes. I have a dream board.
She journals for sure. She manifests. Also,
how'd that manifesting work out, girl?
Not great.
No. Did you manifest how to stay still on a swinging object so you could grab things? I don't think so.
90% of that was Nelson. 95% of that was Nelson.
I agree, but she wasn't helpful.
No, she wasn't helpful. I will also say this. I don't know if I've had this take on the podcast, but I know I've had this take potentially off air. If you're hot and you manifest things, sometimes things work out not because you manifested things, but because you were hot.
No. Do hot people get certain privileges?
Now, hot people will tell you they do not. Hot people will tell you it's hard being hot. But let me tell you, it's harder not being hot. It's a lot harder not being hot. It's harder not being hot. So again, if you're good looking and you would like to manifest things, I'm going to save you a step. You don't need to manifest them because you can just
continue being good looking.
Yeah. And you'll get them because that's how our society works. So I'm trying to save you some work here, hot people, because obviously all of our hotties are hot. You don't need to manifest. Yeah. Just throw it away. Mm-hmm. Just do it. Ask for it. You're hot. Do your thing. Okay?
Fully agree with you. What a waste of time and energy.
What a waste of time. I would say, Mixie, we're at the elimination. I don't think I have ever felt so bad for somebody since... Was it Tommy on last season? That's what I was
going to say. I think it's equivalent.
It's equivalent.
I will say this one was funnier. That one was just sad. This one was funny. Right. And it was funny not because Nelson was failing. It was funny because everybody up in the stands was like, use momentum, don't stop her. Oh, come on, Nelson.
Everybody. Not just Johnny, not Jordan. I think everybody up there that could speak English was being like, don't do that. And it's not like just one time, like, oh, you need one good go. It's like 40 times. He couldn't get it figured out. And he just kept stopping. And I guarantee you what makes this worse is nobody on that stage wants it more than Nelson either.
Yeah.
Nobody... when they get the call, is more game to go than Nelson. Mm-hmm. And for him to lose on the first one like this, basically, let's say like the second one, it's just, and for it to be so bad, not like a hall brawl where it's really close or balls in or like this long thing, for it to just be that bad.
Mm-hmm. I was so sad for him. He took it well. Like, you know, when he lost, he like gave everybody a nice happy wave and he walked off in high spirits, it seemed like. I was sad twofold. I was sad because we were losing Nelson, and I was sad because KellyAnne was going to come back in that house and be an absolutely raging psychopath. And that's exactly what happened.
I need that right now, though. I feel like I need that right now.
I'm over this storyline. I don't care.
I see what you're saying. I would say I'm not
She's not
over
gonna
that.
win.
Well, she's not going to win. I'd be over the storyline less if I didn't have to deal with it for an episode and a half, basically.
An entire episode. I agree.
So if this continues to go on, they've basically blown their load on like selling it to us that early when you could have like really like, you could have spaced out the last episode too a little bit more to get us here because that's all that was. Like, again, you tried with the butt massage and the fake cribs thing, but with this episode still just being an hour, it was still a hell of a drag. I just find it hilarious that they go back in the house and I'm like, okay, shit's going to go down. They're going to avoid each other for a while. That's good. Oh, look at John A. just going up the stairs, getting away from the handshakes and all that. And then Tristan just walks in the room. Or Grant walks in the room, right?
Yeah.
And was like, huh, I thought you guys were out. And then in ITM, he goes, to see how a relationship goes from great to shit really shows how this game changes so quickly. Just do one thing and it goes belly up. No shit. And also, one little thing is like me not giving you a high five. What is not one little thing is my alleged friend outside of the show puts me in first and then says, oh, we're cool. And then, oh, never mind. I blindsided you up at the top. That's not one little thing, Grant.
Episode 1.
That's not one little thing. That is a lot of little things, which make 3 or 4 giant big things, sir.
I would like to state for the record, I liked what John A. did. From a viewer standpoint,
yes,
loved it. Game strategy wise, so dumb. And then for them to be like, wow, crazy that she's mad. You poked the most sensitive bear in that house.
The one that you said I can't trust because she's a bit of a wild card and a loose cannon. And then you go, let's see, how can I make someone a loose cannon? Oh, I got it. Let me do that. And then be like, I don't see what the big deal is, KellyAnne. You're back in the house. I love you, John A., but this is old school, original challenge John A. Just being kind of completely oblivious to like what everybody else, the viewers, are watching. And I don't know if we were just shielded from this from the 2 years that she won, because that's always something I have to take into account.
Yeah.
Because obviously they needed this drama for these episodes because of the way it played out and what she actually did. If she didn't vote her in, none of this happens, right? They don't even show any of that stuff.
Totally.
But the way it went down, obviously they do it. So I'm like, has she continued to be like a little crazy and like old school John A?
They might have edited it that way because she won, you know?
Exactly. We don't want to make our winner look like and that's why we saw the Sarah edit in that other season in USA.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. And then the terrible explanation. Like, somebody's going to buy that?
I swear to God, if they keep up this pattern with these episodes, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I think they have to, because we didn't get a daily this week, right?
Yeah.
It was just all leading up to it. So I think we're going to be back on track next episode.
We'll see. I don't feel confident.
I think I got my fingers crossed that they can do it. I really do. I really do. Again, please go check out the YouTube video or you will start not getting them. Also, if you're new, leave a review. If you're old, leave another review. Remember, you can steal a partner's friend. Not their friend, their phone. You're not Emily from Challenge Australia.
It's late, guys.
Yeah, you can do those things. And you know what? Just watch and listen, and we love you. And we'll see you next week. Okay, everybody?
Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Bye.